welcome back. Starting where we left off, we were talking about the Ecuador game, and the second half, of course, they did the subs. It changed the tempo of the game, kind of how the players are meshing together. After a couple minutes, at about 10 or 15, they did seem to get some chances in. It was still back and forth. I think Ecuador played, they had Valencia on the right. I thought Timmy Chandler did a great job against him.
Yeah.
That's a world-class
player
playing for Manchester United. That's not,
well, not even that. You got Chicho Benitez up top. You had the other guy, I forget his name, plays in Spain, but I mean, Ecuador is
a decent team.
It's a decent team that plays in South America. South America, I mean, we can't say anything else about South American teams.
So let's talk about the goal that the U.S. ended up giving up. Tim Ream came in, I think, for Carlos Bocanegra, and just it is just not that kid's year. But at the same time, yes, we can say he just had a bad year. But at the end of the day, there's no excuse to get beat in a manner that he got beat. He played a ball in. It wasn't even a set piece. I don't know if they see the replays. You see him looking down at the guy instead of looking at the play to his right, where the ball was being handled. And the ball gets crossed in, and he gets just flat out beat into the ball, and the guy heads it in for a goal.
I mean, I hate to cut you in, but I've played an offensive player. As a player, I've played offensively my whole life. Just recently, I went through an injury, so I decided to come back as a defender, and in a month's time, I've learned as a defender the little traits that you have to be that defender. And really, that was routine, and there's no excuse for getting scored on like that. I feel that he could have at least, you said he had his head down, at least bump the guy, grab the guy, pull the guy, get a penalty, but don't let him beat you off your line like that. Don't let him head the ball without you looked at him. He looked at him, and it's just, like I said, at this level, you cannot do that. At any level, you can't do that.
It just seemed like they were doing a great job, and that just kind of took this.
And not only that, you take your team out of the game by doing that, because you make a mistake. Soccer is a game of mistakes. You can't make the littlest mistake you make can cost you the game. That cost us the game. I'm sorry, there was just no excuse, and I would be really disappointed if he got called back again.
Yeah.
And I respect him as a professional, and I can go as far as to say that I like the kid. I like the way he plays.
He's just not ready yet.
But
he's just not ready.
Not at all.
He's just not ready.
Not at all.
He could be that player. He's just not ready, and it's showing. And why he's getting called up.
It was just so premature. I can't even tell you how. I can't get over it.
Yeah.
It was so premature. It was so. He was like, you know what I mean? Like, it was nothing. It was.
It just he shouldn't.
I have no words for it.
Yeah, it was kind of speechless, and just kind of like it's just that year for him. And it's just like whatever's going on in New York, he's having a horrible year. He was thought to be the next big thing, the next big center back for the U.S. because he can play out of the back. Maybe one of the reasons why Cleveland keeps bringing him back. But at the same time, we're seeing he's just not.
But hopefully he proves us wrong. Hopefully he takes this as a learning experience. Goes back, trains hard, and really works on the mistakes he made. That he probably makes that mistake a lot, and he just doesn't notice it. Maybe now he can learn something from it, go back to his club team, and really start working on it. Because again, at any level, you can't
going down to it. The game ended up 1-0. They lost on that goal. But what we saw on Twitter, just even myself, let's be honest. The uproar that came with him getting in and allowing a goal like that brought up discussions of where is Omar Gonzalez, where is George John, there's several other players that have not been called up yet. Tim Ream under Klinsmann keeps getting called up, and reminiscent of how Bob Bradley used to bring in Jonathan Bornstein. I'm not trying to run the kid's name through the mud, but there are several instances where I never understood why Bornstein was being brought in and why he even got on the field sometimes, because he just did not look comfortable, did not look solid, and sometimes was the weak point of our team, and it showed in several games. One of them being the Gold Cup. I hate to bring it up and I hate to put him down like that, but
that question is brought up. Where is Omar Gonzalez? Where, et cetera, et cetera. The thing is, Bob Bradley's not coach anymore. He's not the coach anymore. And Jurgen has an idea of what he wants out of his team. And just because you have a good, maybe a good few games in your domestic league, doesn't mean you're ready, and doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you have won yourself that chance to play for your national team. Because let me tell you why. Because playing at that level, I mean, you saw Ghana in the World Cup. One mistake against Ghana. It was off a kickoff. Was it a kickoff or the goalie punted it? One mistake in the back line. So, especially that position, which is really delicate. That back, you know what I mean? So I don't feel I see a lot of criticism about, you know, why hasn't he brought this player or so player or it's not an easy fix.
And correct. I'm not saying it.
And I understand that we have to bring players in, but right now, you know, we looked at Goodson. I think Goodson has a good chance.
Yeah,
Fiscal, we looked at Fiscal. We saw bits and parts of brightness, but yeah, I mean, he's not convincing.
He's not an international player.
Demerits. I mean, he's a little bit older. But you know, we're still working on it, and there's a lot of players that have a lot more clout than these younger players.
Correct. And I know what you're coming from, but it does come in question. My thing is, I'm not siding with anybody. I do understand though. I just want to see the kid play at the international level. Just give him a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you can say the same thing about, you know, these other players that he's, you know, basically brought in and said, okay, never mind. Like Castillo, Fiscal, I'll be surprised if he comes back in. Tim Ream, I'll be surprised if he calls him in. If he calls him in again, there will be an uproar. Fans will not be happy with that. You yourself included. You have to be honest with yourself. If he brought in Ream,
it was just so frustrating because it was one of those things that, like I said, that position not only takes skill, but it takes a lot of heart and a lot of everything else, a lot of passion to play that back position, a lot of
grit,
a lot of mental strength, and a lot of athletic. I mean, the list goes on, but he didn't have it, and that play showed what separated the boys from the men.
Yeah.
Period.
So, you know, moving on, the game ended up 1-0. U.S. lost Ecuador. After, I think this is the 5th game by Klinsmann, the boys only scored 2 goals. Is that a concern? They're not scoring.
It is a concern.
That's a big concern that they're not scoring.
It is a concern, but you can't expect these guys to have 5-0 shutouts right away, especially because they were playing under a system with Bob Bradley that
it's completely different.
Was different and a lot of the times ancient. I feel, you know, and it was a lot more physical. We use our physical ability to maybe win some games.
Right.
But you know what? I think he started off very very well. He's really getting a base of what he wants, and the goals are gonna come. We just a lot of it has been unlucky. Again against Honduras, we had, you know, Gooch missed one. Williams missed one. Shea missed one. I mean, the goals will come, but I think anybody who knows soccer and really watched both of the games, especially the Ecuador game, can really see the collectiveness and the transition of play that the United States is starting to have.
Let me just say this: as far as what I'm seeing, the players come out with their just attacking style of football. It just seems like I'm very pleased with what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
very, very pleased. Even though the goals are not coming, I do see they're creating more chances. They're shooting the ball more. They're passing the ball at a better pace. Or a better play, and they're looking very, very strong. And moving forward, it comes with time. I think people are freaking out too soon. They're pressing the panic button too early.
Yeah.
We still have 6 months till the first qualifying game.
And you know,
we're gonna see a lot more friendlies.